There were so many beautiful money lessons in Squid Games. I was like, no, I need to do a video. We gotta talk about this. Hello there, breakers. I was gone for a hot minute. Summer was long, and the productivity was not so much, but I am back. I'm back to help you with your money questions, journeys, situations for the season ahead. And I wanted to come back with a bang, and we are gonna talk about the cultural phenomenon that is Squid Games. Unless you've been living under a rock, I don't know where you've been. Squid Games is the show of all shows, and I'm about to give spoilers in here, so here is a warning. But there were so many beautiful money lessons in Squid Games. I was like, no, I need to do a video. We gotta talk about this. And no, not just the obvious. They, were down on their luck and they needed some money, so they basically fought to the death for money, but the little underlying tones and lessons that were in there. So I'm going to go through all of those right now. Basically, in the Squid Games, you have 456 people who are in severe financial debt and despair, who are in desperate need of money, and they are willing to play a bunch of deadly children's games to win the equivalent of $38 million. Would you risk your life for that amount of money? It starts off with the protagonist, which is Jihan. He is down on his luck, broke, living in his mama's basement, basically, struggling for food. His mum looks at him like, you are a waste, boy, get your ass up. But she kind of lets him do what he's doing. He was married but is now divorced. His daughter lives with his ex-wife and new husband, and he's just got a lot of these bad habits. He's desperate to make more money and he gambles. He ends up gambling and winning a load of money. The people that he owes money are like, give us your money. He's like, okay, I'll give you the money. His money has been stolen. What? When it rains, it pours. Life is hard for Jihan. So at some point in time, he realizes that he's desperate. Meets a guy in the train station. The guy in the train station basically says, do you want to win some money? Let's play a game. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll play a game. Plays the game, gives him the money. Well, after he humiliates himself and is actually treated very badly to win the money, he wins the money. And the guy says, if you want more of that kind of money, call us. Of course. He ends up calling the guys like, what's going on? Find out that they have to join this game, which is basically the Squid Games, right? And they go through a series of challenges and games which are basically to the death, right? All in the name of winning some money. And it's a super large amount of money that could be transformative for not only him, but obviously there are 456 contestants. Anyway, as they get in, they're like, oh, this is easy, this is fun. But then they realize, again, it's life or death. And some of them are like, you know what? I don't need the money this bad. I want to get out of this game. So then people are given the choice to leave the game or not to leave the game. And then fundamentally, the majority chose to leave the game, or so it appears. Leave the game, but all the people seem to end up being in such destitute situations that going back to the game and potentially losing their life is more worthy than living in their real world. So, funny enough, they all decide to come back, even though they know what the risks are. Play the game to the death. There are some twists, turns, there are some relationships building, there is some menacing behavior, and there's some excellent characters that are in there. And there are also some parallels between the rich and the poor, and societies and classes and groups of peoples and colors that are just so interesting. But that is the story. Now there's a lot going on this show, and great acting and great character development, but what I want to talk about is some of these secret underlining money lessons that are in this show and some hidden theories. Money lesson number one, and I hate to say this, is that money and having money can impact your self-esteem and your self-worth and perception by others. Jihan is broke. He's in a bad situation, and you can also see that people have lost respect for him, including his mum and ex-wife. How he got into that situation, we don't necessarily know, but often when people end up in quite a destitute position, it's been a number of different things, and they end up getting into a cycle that can be very difficult to get in. And when your self-worth and self-value is low, it's very hard to get out of that position, and you may be willing to go down dangerous and not so valuable routes to get out of that position and hopefully get some self-respect back. Money lesson number 2 is that as fast as you can get money is as fast as you can lose money. Jihan gambles and he actually does win something, and as soon as he wins that money, he's giving it away. And rather than him squirring it, saving it, putting it straight to some of the debts that he has, he's looking at ways that he can spend it and get carried away with it. And unfortunately, though he received that money super quickly, he had responsibilities, and that money needed to go to his debtors. Quickly in, quickly out, unless you have a plan. Next lesson is that quick money has a cost. You may not see it straight away, but after a while, you may see what it costs you. It could be your sense of well-being, it could be your family, it could be your life. And it's really important for people to determine what are they willing to give up for money, and is it actually gonna be worth it? What was so interesting in the show is that the people came, they were excited by the money, they're like, okay, let's play this game, yay, it's all fun and games. It was all fun and games until someone gets shot in the chest and you're like, I did not sign up for this. And sometimes life is like that. You did not sign up for something, but now you're dead. Now you're running for your life and you're like, it wasn't worth it. It really wasn't worth it. We live in a society of the haves and the have-nots. And sometimes the haves are playing bigger games that some of us cannot play, will never be aware of, and we are not able to control. You can see this really clearly in the color messaging with the guys who wear the red, who are in a position of power, as well as the guys in the green, who are basically there for the entertainment of the super rich. And I think this is something that is super reflective of society. And sometimes you don't even realize that you're in the game, and it's important to kind of be aware of what's going on and try to not be manipulated by the systems that are. This lesson really broke my heart, and I think it's really important to remember that tomorrow is not promised. And why that's a money lesson is that sometimes you can get caught up in chasing now and be like, I need this now, I need this now, I need this now. But you turn around and the thing that you thought you needed the money for has gone. Jihan wanted to get money to help his mom, to be able to support his daughter, to be able to maybe get custody of his daughter. But by the time he's come out, grandma's dead. Okay, mama's dead, she's gone. The daughter has gone. So he's put all this effort in and he's focusing, his head down, and it's for nothing. And it's really important to actually reflect on life in that way, that it's important to have balance and recognize that you have to enjoy here and now, because tomorrow is not promised, and sometimes the chase isn't always worth it. So one of the next lessons that actually got lost in translation, and I found a really cool TikTok video that explained this further, and it is with the character Minya. She's one of the gangster females, she tries to be one of the gangster females, and in one of the games she is left out because people judge her and don't really like her that much. She makes a statement which is actually wrongly translated, but on watching this video I found out what the translation actually was.
But here's the one part that I think is a huge miss. Here she is trying to convince people to play the game with her, right? Right here. The translation says, oh, I'm not a genius, but I can work it out. What she actually said was, I am very smart, I just never got a chance to study. That is a huge trope in Korean media. The poor person that's smart and clever and just isn't wealthy. That's a huge part of her character. And almost everything she says is like being botched translation wise, but you just missed, like, the writers, all they want you to know about her is that. You know what I mean? It seems so small, but it's like the entire character's purpose of being in the show.
The lesson for me here is that sometimes there are some really smart, talented, wise people who don't necessarily have the educational backing that they need to be able to make it into society, and they get left out. Some people can pay for Harvard degrees, and some people can pay those tuition fees, but there are other people who may be out there who are really talented and really skilled, who may miss out on the opportunities because they don't have the resources to be part of the system. I like this money lesson. All fur coat and no knickers. So Jihan ends up killing his childhood friend. And this guy is the guy that everyone talks about. Look at him, he's successful, he's in the city, he's doing well, he's rich, he's done it all. He's the one who is in a big financial mess. So here's another lesson. Everything can look good financially on the outside. The shoes on the gram look great. The outfit, the trips and the holidays look great. But you do not know what that person is dealing with financially. I think this is an obvious one. Money is not worth dying for. And I'm gonna conclude there. I honestly thought the show was amazing, and not only is it entertaining and gory and ooh, I loved it, I thought that there were lots of really good money lessons in there. And though I love talking about money and stuff, I think it's always good to have a balance and also get some entertainment and learn from the mistakes of others. Thank God it's not actually real, but I do think there's an element that is reflective of actual society. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Squid Games and money lessons in general, and leave some comments below for what you want to see next, because we're coming back with the flames. Thanks guys, I'll see you later. Bye.